Mills Fleet Farm presents John Gillespie's Waters and Woods. Mills Fleet Farm is your fishing headquarters.
Welcome to John Gillespie's Waters and Woods. We're in downtown Detroit, fishing for walleyes.
Hey, hey, John Gillespie! Hey, John
Just a big, beautiful fish.
Oh, is that awesome? Holy moly! Oh my God! Look at the size of that walleye, Danny! Look at the size of that fish. Yes, folks, we're in downtown Detroit, and this is something that I've always wanted to do, was come over here and fish the Detroit River for the walleye run. And these walleyes, Mike, that are in the Detroit River come out of Lake St. Clair?
And Lake Erie. It's like a highway. They're going both directions. So
And we're hitting this at the right time?
perfect time. It's loaded with fish.
Well, tell me a little bit about this. So the walleyes will come up, they'll spawn, and then they'll go back in the lake. Is that kind of the
A
deal?
lot of them do, but actually there's walleye in the river all summer, but it's just clear loaded right now with all these spawning fish.
And I think what's kind of nice too about this time of the year is you come over here and, you know, our seasons aren't open yet in Wisconsin on most of our inland lakes, but you can come here and keep how many fish?
It's 5 during the spawn, and then on the Lake Erie side it goes to 6 after the spawn's over.
But we can keep 5 fish per license
5
today.
per license.
And how are these to eat?
Great.
Are they?
Yeah, they're the same as catching them in the lake.
Hey folks, we'll show what we're using and how we're using it, all of that coming up right after this.
You can't choose the weather, but you can choose to dress for it. Introducing Blackfish Performance Wear for the ultimate sun protection and cooling comfort. Using chemical-free cooling technology, our Shade and Eclipse series is designed with unique fabric to wick moisture away, as well as create pockets for air to keep you cool. Whether on the boat or on the dock, choose Blackfish, because you can choose the weather. Blackfishgear.com.
My dad was never too busy to take me fishing. It was our special time together. He taught me which lures to use, how to cast, how to land big fish. Some days were better than others. Now that I'm older, I treasure those memories of our time on the water, and am glad that I can make new memories for my kids. Mills Fleet Farm, helping to create outdoor memories since 1955.
From the makers of the best-selling Yamaha Grizzly and Kodiak 700 comes the all-new Kodiak 450, the world's only midsize ATV with Yamaha-proven off-road capability, all-day comfort, and confidence-inspired performance. The all-new Kodiak 450, starting at just $59.99.
Hey, welcome back, folks. As I mentioned at the top of the program, we're in Motown, downtown Detroit, fishing on the Detroit River for walleyes. And we got a boat full of people today. We got Captain Mike, our guide, of course. We got Henry Abbott and Blake and you and I. But, Matt, we're going to be vertical jigging. And I really love the 4-inch Kalin's jerk minnow this time of the year. And the reason I do is the walleyes aren't quite as aggressive as they are in the summer. So the smaller bait and a stinger hook is very important because they hit short. Now, what are you going to try?
Yeah, I'm trying the big 2.5-inch Hyper-Rattle. Captain Mike said you have to fish 3/4 and 1 ounce baits in this super fast current. So I'm going to drop this on him and should be able to keep it vertical.
And Mike, I suppose the most important thing this time of the year is to stay near the bottom, keep bottom contact, right?
Have to keep it right on the bottom. You're just doing these small little 2-inch lifts just so it's floating down there.
And when they hit, you set the hook right away?
Immediately.
Hey, Blake, way to go. Blake's going to start us off there, Mike. And let's see what Blake has. Here it is. Oh, nice eater-sized walleye. And, Mike, we should tell the folks, you don't get a lot of big fish this time of the year. It's more an eater deal.
The jigging season, all the little males are up here and they're really excited. The females are more concentrating on the spawn, so they're not as active in feeding. You'll get some, but not as many as these little males.
And again, they taste good, and you can keep 5 over 15 a day.
That's it. That's great.
Hey, my buddy Henry, welcome to Detroit.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. We got another eater here. You know, again, these aren't real big fish, folks. Oh, there he is. That's a We'll have to measure them. That's fun vertical jigging though, isn't it, Henry?
Yeah, in such deep water, we're not used to doing it like this.
No, and you got to use big jigs, folks. But they really do love these Kalins, don't they, Michael?
Oh, they love it.
Yeah, that's a great bait for this time of year. Blake has really turned into quite the angler there, Mike. Ooh, that one might make the frying pan.
Another eater.
We'll have to see. Now, it is interesting. We're all trying different baits, and she's having a lot of success with that 4-inch Kalins, huh?
Yeah, the Minow profiles, I mean, they're just getting a glimpse of it as it goes by, and as long as it looks like a minnow, they're smacking it.
Hey, Blake, what did that feel like?
It's a good bite. Make sure hitting the bottom is what I'm doing.
Yeah, and there's a lot of current. You got to really concentrate.
Oh, Blake, too.
They are fun, man.
Blake's got one, too, John.
Blake's got one up front. I'm going to get this one in. Hey, here he is. Gotta go up and net hairs.
Oh.
Okay, Blake's got one there. And that's 2 in the net. And we're going to have a mess here. We are going to have a complete mess. But that's 3 walleyes in the net ski there. Hey, Mike, that is interesting, isn't it, buddy?
When you hit them in the spot, they're just lined up.
Hey, Matt, take that jig off of yours once. I want to show the folks that's getting to be a real popular lure on the Bay of Green Bay is those hair jigs, right?
Yeah, John. Hair just looks natural in the fish. They just breathe and they look real, like a bug or an insect down there. And I'm using the biggest size we make, a 1/2 ounce in this current.
Look at that, guys. You got the Canadian flag behind you there and 3 walleyes. And that's one thing we should mention. That side of the river is Canada, and this side is Detroit, Michigan. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's 3 walleyes in 5 seconds, guys. Now Henry Abbott's turn. This is one after another, isn't it, Big Hen?
It's getting pretty fast.
Okay, let's see what we got here. We have ourselves, ooh, there's a nice eater. Henry, that's a good eater there. You know, you and I fish together a lot. You really got to concentrate, don't you?
Yeah, this is not just throw it out there and see what happens.
No, there's so much current, Mike. You really got to keep concentrating that you're hitting that bottom.
Yep.
And it's that colors do make a big difference here, don't they?
Yeah, some days it's dark, some days it's light. It seems like so far they're all coming on the chartreuse white belly, so we're going to put some more white baits on and see what happens.
Yeah, we catch a lot of fish on those Kalins, don't we?
That's great.
Captain Mike, all right there, buddy. That hit twice, didn't it?
Yeah.
I know that he smacked you there once and missed it and came back. Well, let's see here, buddy. That's actually fighting pro. Ooh, there you go. Pass them right up to Captain Mike. And these are just gorgeous size walleyes to eat, Michael, aren't they?
Beautiful eaters. Don't even have to clean that red vein out of them.
And we should mention, you know, you're still captaining on Lake Erie, but this Detroit River deal is a good backup, isn't it, for you?
You get too much wind or dirty water conditions like we have today on Erie, you can come up here, and this water's usually, there's always a spot that's fishable on the river, and there's always good fish.
And you're captaining both here and on Lake Erie?
Correct.
Yeah, hold that one up. Again, beautiful eater there, buddy.
Wonderful.
Folks, another cool thing about fishing on the Detroit River is you actually see big tankers going by all the time. And geographically, the Detroit River empties into Lake Erie. It empties out of Lake St. Clair. And actually, Mike, if I wanted to, I could take my boat all the way home to Milwaukee through a waterway, right?
Absolutely. You go up through Lake Huron, through the St. Clair River, and across into Lake Michigan, and all the way down to Milwaukee.
Should we do that on the way home instead of drive?
You have to figure out where the gas stations were.
That is so cool, Mike, to see you catching a walleye with that big GM building behind you, you know?
Yeah.
That is neat, catching fish in downtown Detroit. Well, let's see how big this guy is. They're all about the same, folks.
Yeah, better one.
And that's another eater. Pass him right up there to Michael. But, I mean, that is kind of unique, isn't it? Catching fish in downtown Detroit, one of the biggest cities in the country.
People all over the place, and there really aren't that many people on the river compared to what kind of fishing we have here.
Now, yeah, and again, you know, we're in real late April right now. What happens now in May? Do they stay in here for a while?
The males especially, they'll be here through May, and we get a major white bass run that follows them. And then there's always a lot of these smaller males in the river all through the summer and fall.
And the white bass, are they big?
Yeah, we get a real big white bass run. They're really nice.
Like 2-pounders?
Yeah.
Really?
It's ridiculous. You can catch as many as you want.
Here we go, Michael. And man, I'll tell you, they aren't real big, but they fight, folks. Here he comes. And I can just do my old John Gillespie flip in there.
Perfect.
And folks, again, ooh, these fish are really, they're ready to spawn, Mike. I can tell that, buddy. But without that stinger hook, folks, you just don't catch half of these fish. And they hit it pretty darn hard. Poor Ryan, the photographer, doesn't get a chance to rest, Michael.
That's all right.
Yeah, this is every bit as neat as you said it was going to be, one after another. And you don't have to get up early to do this, which is nice, too. Oh, let's see here, buddy. Ooh, yeah, another beautiful eater, Mike. Really. Now, does time of day make a difference out here?
Early morning's the best, but you can catch them all day long. That first hour can be magical, but in the last hour also. Night fishing's actually good up here, and they allow night fishing through the spring on the Detroit. So
one thing I was going to ask you, you know, whenever we go to Lake Erie or now here in the Detroit River, it's kind of hard to catch the females this time of year. Why is that?
they usually stay up suspended away from the males until they're ready to drop their eggs. So, because as soon as they get near them, the males are ready to spawn, and they'll start ramming them in the side trying to get them to drop their eggs. So until they're ready to spawn, they stay way up in the water column.
Folks, as we talked about at the top of the program, we're using a 4-inch Kalin's jerk minnow, and I've actually gone to a 1-ounce jig. And again, Mike was stressing before the importance of staying on the bottom. So what you do, we're fishing in 30 feet of water. You let that jig go all the way down to the bottom, and you can tell it's on the bottom when your line goes slack there. And then you want to, as soon as it hits bottom, you want to tighten up right away and just keep contact with the bottom. And Mike, not big jerks, just kind of pull up and drop type deal?
No, you're just doing a 2 to 3 inch soft lift. You're basically trying to keep bottom contact without it getting hung up. So you have to keep checking where you're at and not let it drag, but you want to stay very close to the bottom.
And you got to concentrate because there's a ton of current.
Oh, it's real fast. That's why we have to use the 3/4 and 1-ounce jigs.
We were fishing the Detroit River in Detroit, Michigan, a 6-hour drive from Milwaukee, 10 hours from Minneapolis, and 3.5 hours from Chicago.
Excellent. Oh, there's a good one. Awesome.
Beautiful fish.
Look at how he ate that,
He
too.
ate that Google Eye jig.
This is the Google Eye. It's available in a live bait series and then a long hook shank series. And what we did is we took a glass rattle and built it into the middle of the round jig head and just bouncing it. It hits the bottom, that glass rattle's rattling and it's sending off vibration in this dirty water in this river, and that's the result right there.
This one's coming home with me.
Folks, when I head out to fish, I always stock up on my favorite Baitmate fish attractants. Dale, I just put that Baitmate on, man. Baitmate offers a complete line of fish attractants and convenient spray bottles for every angler and every species of fish. They've got your bait covered. I also have the newest Baitmate delivery system in my boat, Baitmate Ultra Live Game Fish Dip. Simply flip open the lid and dip your bait for even application every time, and it's ideal for frequent casting. I just dipped that in the Baitmate, you know that? Improve your chances of catching fish with Baitmate fish attractants. It just makes sense.
Oh, Michael, you are getting hot. Is that 3 in a row for you, buddy?
Real quick.
Yeah. This would be a great place to take kids for their first walleye adventure, wouldn't it?
There's not much for snags. You can teach them to drift pretty easy and not lose a lot of jigs.
Ooh, that's a nice one. That's a good solid 16, 17. But yeah, that is nice. We haven't had a single snag, have we?
No, it's you go downriver, you get into some rocks, it can be gnarly, but right through this channel here, it's all pretty smooth bottom, and they're all just lined up down through there, so it's pretty easy fishing.
And you know, it seems like there's miles and miles of fishable water. There's fish everywhere.
30 miles of river, and it's all good.
My turn, Mike. My turn, buddy. You know, they're fun in this current too, you know that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there we go. That one's a little short. But you know, come on up here. I want to talk a little bit about what's going on Lake Erie and of course this whole system here. You had some great hatches the last couple of years, right?
It's been amazing. That's why we have all these fish that are running from 14.5 to 16 inches.
Yeah.
It's another mega hatch, about like 03.
Now, oh yeah, when you talk about the 2003 hatch there, in about 2008, 2009, 2010, we were catching males that were 23, 25 inches long, right?
And they fed us for these big hatches, they'll feed us for 10 years.
Yeah, so you're saying that in a couple of years that this fish and these males will be 18, 20 inches long?
Yeah, in a few years here they'll be 20 to 22 and it'll be a fest.
The growth rates here are amazing, aren't they?
Yeah, that's only a 2-year-old fish.
That's only a 2-year-old fish,
Yeah.
and he's pushing 14. Go Blake, go! Go Blake, go! Here we go! Hey! Now, are you bouncing that pretty good, Blake, or
Yep, just going just a little bit off the bottom.
Okay. You know, Mike, the first time Blake fished rivers was just a couple of weeks ago, and she's really learned how to, you know, do the vertical jigging.
She's doing better than most of us guys today.
Well, she is. Aren't you, Blake?
Yeah, I'm having fun.
2 in a row, 2 in a row. This is actually seconds later.
I didn't even touch the bottom yet.
You didn't even oh, Matt's got one too on the other side. Matt's got one. Way to go, Matty B. Oh, Matt, look at him work hard on that. Matt's a snag. So I'll have to throw that one back.
Right.
But Blake, hold yours up for everybody to see. See, Matt cheats. He snags his and you catch yours in the mouth. Oh, that's funny. But you know, and that just goes to show you, Mike, you know, take somebody out here and teach them how to walleye fish, because you're going to get a lot of bites, right?
Oh, this time of year it's good. Great for young people or newbies that don't know what to do, a good place to teach them.
Blake, what do you think of river fishing?
I'm having a ton of fun.
Oh, another one for Michael. It is amazing, Mike, that these are all basically the same size fish I'd say between 14 and 17, right?
Yeah, yep.
And yeah, but you know what I like though, again, you know, is the fact that you're not going to hurt the population by keeping your limit, are you?
No, we got plenty of fish. They set the tax according to what people are harvesting. You know, if they have a problem with the population, they'll down our quotas.
I'll tell you what, that Matty B is just an awesome, awesome angler, folks. Hey, Matt, step up here.
On the hair.
Step up here. Hey, seriously though, we got 5, 6 people in this recon. Does this thing fish well or not?
Yeah, it's just a big, wide, deep boat. I mean, it's awesome. Everyone's vertical jigging, and I just love it. And the ride is super smooth. I mean, all the waves crashing in here, and it just cuts them.
Hey, talk a little bit about that hair jig, though. That is a darn good multi-species bait, isn't it?
Yeah, John, Kalin's, we designed a bass series and a walleye series. And this is the walleye series. It has that bullet head, and that cuts this current is what that's doing, and that hair just breathes.
Henry!
Henry's hooked up.
Yay! Yay! Now your hair is nowhere. Oh, that's a nice walleye there, Hammerhead. No, seriously, hold that one up. That's one of the bigger ones of the day.
Not bad.
Now you are going to grow your hair as long as Mike's. Is that the deal?
I'm gonna try.
Seriously?
Yeah, I got 6 months into it. Another
Yeah.
couple of years.
And so you just don't cut it?
Nope.
What do you think he looks handsome, Mike, with the long hair?
Just trying.
Yeah. Hold that up. That's a nice one. Probably oh, is that a big fish? But hand him right back. Hey, Blake, you know what? I'm really hungry for a Johnsonville Italian. Can you grill one for me?
Oh yeah, Dad, not a problem. I'm in the mood for a Johnsonville Italian too. The reason it's not a problem is because Johnsonville has done all the hard work for you. The Johnsonville Flame Grilled Italian Sausage are pre-grilled at Johnsonville, grilled marks and all. All you need to do is microwave for 45 seconds and you have a perfect Johnsonville Italian that tastes like it's fresh off the grill.
Oh, was that ever good? How did you grill a Johnsonville Italian that fast?
Well, it only took 45 seconds. The new Johnsonville Flame Grilled Sausages.
Awesome. Folks, running a big two-stroke engine this year, I've really gotten to rely on the AMSOIL HP Marine. This really makes my engine run better, doesn't it, Len?
It does. We do a lot of testing behind the scenes on these particular products, and a couple of the big things to think about is wear protection and detergency. We make sure that there's nothing building up inside that engine. We're also protecting it from wear, because these are the things you don't look at until something happens. So we make sure it doesn't.
And a lot less smoke, right?
Right. That's something that we actually do. We look at trying to produce less smoke. That's one of the major things.
And for more information on both the HP two-stroke and four-stroke Marine, you can go to
AMSOIL.com.
Let us make this absolutely clear. The days of wasted casts and missed opportunities are over. New Mega Imaging takes fishing into the megahertz range for the first time, because higher frequency sonar means higher frequency of this. Without a doubt, it's the most detailed picture of the world below ever. And it's only from Humminbird.
I'm Blake Gillespie, here for Mills Fleet Farm, the ultimate fishing headquarters. My dad and I love fishing for all different species of fish, from walleye, crappie, trout, and muskie, just to name a few. So I came to Mills Fleet Farm to pick up a few new rods, not only because of their amazing selection, but I know I'll be able to find what works best for me. And that's why I come to Mills Fleet Farm, because I know they'll have everything I need.
Sorry, folks, I'm eating a donut. Catching a walleye here. Here he comes. I apologize for that, but now here's an example, though. Mike was talking about before of a hungry fish. When you get them on that main hook, Mike, that means they're aggressive, right?
They're eating, they're not just swatting at it.
Yeah. 2 in a row back here, Mike.
There you go.
Yeah, they aren't big, folks, but you know, on these Jason Mitchell rods, they're a lot of fun to catch. Here he is. Not bad there, Mike.
No, good.
You know? No, folks, if you want to come and get some meat, this is the deal right here. And don't feel guilty about keeping your limit, because the DNR controls the fish populations here really well. Hey, Mike, if they hit once and you miss them, you just keep doing it, right? They'll come back?
Yeah, they'll come back and whack it.
And a lot of times this time of year, folks, nice male right there. A lot of times this year, these males aren't actually eating. Now, that one did. But a lot of times what they're doing is just swatting at a bait?
They're aggressive. They're just swatting at everything. They're trying to get ready for spawning, and they're in an aggressive state, keeping everything away from their territory.
It's now time to announce this week's winners of the Mills Fleet Farm, John Gillespie's Waters and Woods 2018 Fishing Contest.
Aaron Zegan of Rochester, Minnesota caught this 11-inch sunfish on Silver Creek on a waxworm. Tom Cavanaugh of Williams Bay boated this 28-inch walleye on the Petenwell flowage on a chub. Shirley McClellan of Pembine caught this 26-pound salmon on Lake Michigan on a dipsy diver. Gene Tenaglia of Franklin caught this 40-inch pike in Waukesha County on a creek chub. And this week's kids winners are Audrey Zupek of Duluth caught this 34-inch eel pot on Lake of the Woods on a minnow, and Jaden Turinsky of Swamico caught this 15-inch yellow perch on Green Bay on a rosy red.
Our adult winners receive a $25 Mills Fleet Farm gift card, and our kids winners receive a Plano tackle box. Mills Fleet Farm, your fishing gear headquarters.
I saw, Mike, that water temperature warmed up into the 40s, so I've been doing a little bit more of an aggressive jig, and that seems to get them to bite. There we go. There's another walleye. But yeah, I sped up just a little bigger hops, you know, to get them to come in, you know?
Getting fired up a little bit.
Yeah. Don't miss them. That'll be only 4 more we need for our limit. Only 4 more if Mike gets us in, and here he is. Okay. Way to go there, Mike. Hey, how long have we been fishing?
Not very long.
Couple hours?
Couple hours, yeah.
Couple hours, folks. Only 4 more if you get this in. Only 4 more if we get this in. Come on, Mike. Come on, Mike. Get him in. Oh, there we go. 4 more walleyes to go, Mike. Hey, you know, I should mention another deal here, too. There's a lot of places along Lake Erie in this area to have your fish cleaned for you, too, right?
Yeah, you can get them. You can pay to get them clean, so you don't have to mess with them.
And it's not that expensive, is it?
No, it's. I mean, it varies, but 60 cents a pound.
Yeah, and they bag them and ice them.
Bag them and ice them. no mess.
Hooked up.
All right, we'll get this in. All we got, oh, Matt,
There
we
we
only
go.
got 3 to go. 3 more to go for our limit, Matty B.
He ate it. Got the big hook that time on that
Hey,
jerk, Junior.
Matt, have you ever seen walleye fishing this fast?
No, this is fast and furious action right here.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We get this one in. We're only going to need 1 more, Henry.
One more.
1 more for our limit, Henry. Come on, buddy. Get him in. Okay, Henry, if you get this one, we only need 1 more for our limit, Henry. Oh, there he is. Yeah, 1 more. You got to measure him, though, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, folks, if I get this in, this is going to be our limit of 25 fish.
There you go.
And I got them. And I'll tell you, folks, we did that. Oh, look at how he ate that, Michael.
Good.
He ate the big one. That took us about 2.5 hours, folks, to catch our 25 fish. And we're going to lay them out and show you. This has just been fabulous fishing. Captain Mike Patterson guides the Central Great Lakes on a daily basis. For more information, give Mike a call. That phone number is 419-308-6925. 308-6925.
If you fish, chances are you've used a mustad hook. That's all we use.
Mark, get him in there. Army tank Daredale. Oh, there is a big boy. I mean, I just can't believe this, folks. Oh, let's see him, buddy. Look at that. That 10 seconds, though, makes a big difference, buddy. Well, that one is a gorgeous fish. Is that pushing 3?
It's 3. We're going to weigh it.
Mustad, the world's largest manufacturer of fishing hooks. Get the point? We did.
The future of boating is here. Now, get all the thrilling performance of an Evinrude E-Tech G2 in the new 150, 175, and 200 horsepower.
Bass fishing's fun, but half of these tournaments is like a boat race, trying to beat everybody down the lake. And with that Evinrude E-Tech G2, it's like driving a Corvette. That thing is passing everybody.
All the best-in-class torque of the Evinrude E-Tech G2 is now available from 150 to 300 horsepower.
This is a whole nother level. The G2 is awesome.
To learn more, visit evinrude.com.
Well, the Detroit River was pretty darn impressive, Mike. You're looking at a limit of 25 walleyes, and basically, folks, we fished for about 2.5 hours. How did you enjoy the Detroit River?
Oh, it was great. Beautiful, fun, and good fishing.
Mike, I'll tell you, this is going to last another month. And again, if folks want to come down and fish with you, you got the bigger boat for Lake Erie and a nice boat for the Detroit River, too.
Yes.
And they can split one day on Erie, one day on Detroit?
Correct.
Sounds good. Hey, great time, buddy. And folks, that is our show for today. Please join us next week. I don't know we're going to fish yet. We'll find a place somewhere. Until then, I'm John Gillespie, hoping to see you enjoying John Gillespie's Waters and Woods.
Hey, John Gillespie. Hey, John Gillespie.